Hello Internet, I'm Deanna Jean Pierce and this is my spiritual YouTube channel, The Faith That Grows. And today I have a rose to give out. It is a pink rose to Marie-Sophie Van De Pas. I hope that's how you pronounce your name. Now, if you know anything about me, you will know that God directly tells me to give roses to people. He tells me when and why and how, and it's not something that can be asked. So don't ask me, hey, when am I getting my rose? I don't know. This is something that God has been directing of me for a while, and I'm sorry to MGK. I was supposed to record your rose video a while ago, but there's a lot going on in my life. I will get to it, and you did earn it, so it's already yours anyway. But so this rose is for Marie-Sophie Van De Pas. I have a lot of notes here. It's for her sensitivity and courage, her divine feminine power, her leadership, her Christ light. So Marie-Sophie Van De Pas is a live Twin Flame Ascension School student in the Wednesday 1 p.m. class. I never met her in person, but I always liked her and respected her and resonated with her. This pink rose is for her because of her strength and Christ light in standing up to Jeff and Shalia in January 2020, and especially going head to head with them in the HTFU bonus class. In this class, Jeff and Shalia came at Marie-Sophie and sought to dominate her and humiliate her for expressing her truth that she didn't believe Fabian Schultz was her twin flame. At the time, it appeared like she was having resistance to God and her union, but that was not actually the divine truth, the spiritual reality going on, which is what we care about as unionists, right? I hope so. Starting in the fall of 2022, and revealing it more and more ever since, God showed me the truth that Fabian is my twin flame, and Dan Thalen is Jenny Langley's twin flame. I've reached out about this to the Church of Union for years, but no one cares. I'm being shut out, blocked, suppressed, pushed aside, and even gaslit and told to seek psychiatric treatment. But I'm not the insane one. God has simply shown me the truth, and I'm seeking to express it. I want to share truth, my journey, God's revelations. I've been wanting to help me and Fabian and Dan and Jenny come together for years now. Marie-Sophie, you have earned this rose, and it is forever yours. You are a Christ light. You were a siren, trying to warn everyone about something being off. You stood your ground and endured public humiliation and being thrown out of the church. You did not deserve that. If Jeff and Shalia were honest and good people, they would have already reached out and apologized to you and to me, Dan and Jenny, as we are all their students. They would uplift us and invite healing and connection and conversation, but that is not happening. It should be happening. You deserve justice. According to Brienne in a session I had with her this last summer, Jeff and Shalia have communicated to Fabian that you are getting closer to him. We both know that's not true, as we have spoken directly about this matter a long time ago. Yes, if you're watching, I reached out to Marie-Sophie a long ass time ago and had a conversation about this. Why? Because I'm not gonna live life through my own assumptions instead of just directly talking to people about things. That would be weird. I asked you directly, do you think Fabian is your twin flame? And you said no, that you never did. Unfortunately, Jeff and Shalia prefer to prolong drama and increase separation instead of have direct conversations with people. It's not only immature and irresponsible, but dangerous and unhealthy and stupid and evil. I bless you with your own twin flame union in HTFU. That's what you came to the teaching for. Thank you for standing your ground. You should obviously be a twin flame teacher, and if COU were smart, they would have you back in COU and let you be a coach and apologize. When I saw how you were treated in January 2020, it scared the living shit out of me and was a large part of why I allowed myself to be pushed into harmonious twin flame union with Dan. Had Jeff and Shalia handled the situation with you with more love and peace and humility, I would have then felt way more empowered to feel my own feelings and not jump into anything. There was so much pressure and strictness around going all in with what God through them said at the time. It makes me sick to my stomach that Jeff and Shalia put their relationship with Fabian above God and trusted him so much that they would treat you like that. We all must do better to respect people, especially women, when they say that something is off. Women are very intelligent and in tune. You are a real friend to me. That patriarchal energy that was represented in the HTFU bonus class, choosing to value Fabian's thoughts and beliefs over God, is still very much present in the church. It's extremely sad. Now it's my voice and story in Christ light being oppressed. Imagine if we had all respected Marie-Sophie and let her be, let her speak, encourage and support her. Dan and I may not have ever gotten together. Actually, probably not. Because that was setting the tone for everything else. And what Jeff and Shalia are failing to realize is that people have the fear of God in them and they really want to do right by God. And so that's how this happened. Dan and I also never would have gone to boot camp. Dan and Jenny would have gotten together, or at least explored, which they were already doing, by the way. Michaela thought that Dan and Jenny were twin flames. Chrissy thought that. And Jeff kept swatting their womanly intuition away like the asshole he is. Never apologized, as far as I can tell. All of this means Dan and I never would have even been banned. You and me and Dan and everyone could have all been at Sedona together. Things could have been so different. Imagine. If only. Michaela and I should have gone to Europe together in 2020. That's what God would have wanted. That would have been a truly loving and amazing, compassionate experience and story. I studied German for 5 years and even lived in Germany in high school. It was destiny, and you were trying to help everyone. I was supposed to get to live my dreams and travel around Europe, and I would have loved to meet you and your twin flame. This could have been so much fucking fun. Not everything is an upset to be healed. Discomfort is pointing to something. Trust your gut. Don't suppress anything. Follow your feelings. Fabian and Jeff and Shalia literally don't understand their arrogance. All of these people were impacted by your guys' icky and special relationship. Dan and Jenny were already pursuing each other as twin flames at the time. They were already exploring that. I had no idea who my twin flame was when I let Tom go, but I never would have reached out to Dan or ever thought of him if it wasn't for Jeff and Shalia. And I wasn't only encouraged to reach out to Dan and supported in exchanging love lists, I was brought into HTFU and then treated as twin flames by the entire community, then coached deeper and deeper into a relationship with him and encouraged to have lots of sex, which bonded us and meshed our energy fields. And then we were banned together, completely stripped of all of our support. Jeff and Shalia derive a weird sense of pleasure from abusing their power. They have not corrected their mistakes. It's been years. It's not okay. You were trying to protect yourself, Fabian, me, and Dan and Jenny, and all of our futures, families, marriages, without even knowing it. That's the power of the divine feminine intuition. It is not always easy or comfortable to be a Christ light. I don't even know the whole story in detail, but it sounds like Fabian had a crush on you And Jeff and Shalia didn't actually check in with God, make sure Fabian was feeling his feelings, or do anything responsible. They also never asked me who I felt my twin flame was. They directed me to reach out to Dan, and then brought me into harmonious twin flame union with him, and then the whole community celebrated it. It was blasted on social media. Imagine what that did to my subconscious and psyche, to have an entire group of people and system that I trusted all support this. Why would I have any reason to doubt what was going on? Why would I think something like this could ever happen? Jeff and Shalia hired a PR firm and purposely did an interview and made podcasts to prove their integrity. They said they took all of the allegations extremely seriously. Boy, oh boy, how was this situation missed? It's not okay. They clearly care about looking right and looking good rather than being right and good. Suffice it to say, this is your rose. Congratulations. So those are my notes that I had written. But so a siren, what a siren does is it's a warning signal. And healthy communities, businesses, churches, planets listen to siren warnings that something is off. Because if you don't listen to the warning, then that creates a domino effect. And there are there's a chain reaction, a domino effect of negative consequences. Jeff and Shalia need to bring Dan and I back and Marie-Sophie back into the church. There should be healing conversation. But that's not what's happening. There's manipulation. There's, oh, Fabian, Marie-Sophie's getting closer to you. Honey. She's getting closer to the community again because God wants everyone back for this healing. And so the church can continue growing. Marie-Sophie is clearly meant to be a twin flame teacher, as most of us are who were in the live classes. Jeff and Shalia like to feed drama behind the scenes, kind of like, instead of just have open and direct conversations. It's a massive waste of time. It's actually insane and psychotic and evil, and it has to be called out. They're not perfect beings. So, it literally makes me sick to my stomach. I was in such a place of like trust with Jeff and Shalia as my gurus, as divine channels, as being the guardians and protectors of my twin flame journey. I never ever would have imagined something like this could happen. And when I saw how you were treated in the HTFU bonus class, it chilled me to my bones. And I was like, I'm going to do everything I can to avoid that. Everything. So, yeah, that the amount of because you joined the teaching to be with your twin flame and be a twin flame guide. You didn't sign up for this. And when I saw your very small part in either the Amazon or Netflix thing, I don't know which one it was, I forget, your part in it stood out to me because it was very different from everyone else's. You were communicating that your experience with Jeff and Shalia was great until this happened. And that's just simply the truth. So, yeah, I really hope that the church brings you back, brings me back, brings Dan back. This is not how good teachers and leaders act. And I just every day I sit and I feel how differently this all could have been if the community had fostered a deeper level of humility and respect for God through people. And there wasn't so much like it's just sad. It's really sad. And it's still happening. Now it's happening to me. So, and everyone in the church, you have a responsibility to speak out against stuff like this and make COU a safer and better place. Okay? So do that. You have to do that. You have to stand up to Jeff and Shalia's bullshit. You have to stand up to each other's bullshit. You have to look at your own bullshit. I'm a highly sensitive and empathic person who has the fear of God in me. And I was asked for unconditional obedience. I was in such a state of surrender. So much trust had been built with me. I was so vulnerable. And so that got taken advantage of. And I wonder if you guys even exchanged your love lists with each other, or like, it doesn't seem like this was handled in a very respectful or responsible, professional way. And this is people's entire lives we're talking about. God prepared me for my destiny and purpose in Germany. I don't think any of this was ever God's will. And we also need to look at the fact that, Marie-Sophie, this is your rose video, but I also have to say that Chrissy and Michaela brought this up, that they believe Dan and Jenny were twin flames multiple times. So, and Jeff kind of swatted it away, pew, 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 as he tends to do. And we all have to stand up to it because that's simply not okay. So God bless you, Marie-Sophie. Here's your rose, and I hope we can, we've talked before, but I hope to meet you in person one day, and I can't wait to meet your twin flame. Bye-bye.